call on Tamatha Paul.
What a shocking and disgusting act to follow. This government and the so-called Minister of Children, who wants to even more punish some of the most vulnerable rangatahi in our country and then want to make jokes about them getting up on the roof because they weren't being fed. Yep, off you go. The reason that those children were up on the roof, go and read the Children's Commissioner's report.
Mr Speaker, it puts a member in real difficulty when they leave the chamber and somebody refers to their absence as they're leaving and says, oh, off you go. Some members, with less rectitude than the ones I know, might actually react to that, and that creates disorder in the House. I ask that you request that comment be withdrawn.
I did actually hear that, and I thought at the time, do I break this up or just and not call attention to it, because it is extremely disorderly to do that, as it would be to point out members who aren't here. So I would ask the member to withdraw and apologise for that remark.
Sure thing, Mr Speaker. I withdraw that comment.
And apologise.
And apologise for that comment.
Carry on.
As we'll continue back to the real issue on the children that were up on the roof, and we have people making jokes about giving them KFC when the reason they were up on that roof was because they weren't being fed. This is the same youth justice residence that was inspected by the Children's Commissioner and found inappropriate and deeply troubling conduct from the people that work in that youth justice residence. But rather than saying to those young people, what happened? What's going wrong? What are you facing in here? Because Korowai Manaaki has a track record for the way that they treat children. And rather than asking them, why are you up on the roof? What are your needs? How are you being let down by this residence? Instead of that, they're being charged. They're being charged. And now they are even more likely to spend a lifetime in our criminal justice system. And this is what people have been raising over and over again. Why are politicians trying to win votes and win political point scoring over the real serious needs of children? We are talking about children, and I think that we get into a really dangerous place when the decision-making people in this country and politicians in this room put votes before the needs of children, because we know what happens. We know what happens when their rights are put to the side. They get abused. 200,000 children abused in state care, and then we're going to stand up next month and we're going to say to them, sorry about the abuse that you endured, but we're still going to press forward with our broken justice system. We're still going to push forward with our failed military boot camp experiment. It's just disgusting. And I want us to know who exactly are in those youth justice residences. 80% of the young people in child prisons have a mental health disability. More than 70% of the young people who are in the youth justice residence in Christchurch have had one serious traumatic brain injury in their lifetime. And that's because the children that are locked in these child prisons are some of the most vulnerable young people in our country who have had nothing in their lives except abuse, intergenerational trauma, poverty. And I'm not trying to make excuses for the behaviour, but I want us to grow up in this house, and I want us to actually address the causes of why those young people have let them down, and for us to not merely contribute even further to the trauma and the hardship that is all they have ever known in their lifetime. I'm concerned about where we're moving in the youth justice space. We've just passed a law last month that says that now we can mix adult and youth prison populations. Even the remand rules and the fact that young people spend all this time on remand in these child prisons and it doesn't get taken off their sentence like it does with an adult, we have a real problem. I'm going to extend an olive branch here and say I would love to be part of a cross-party working group on youth justice. I want to work with all the parties in this House to find another way to deal with youth justice, because I know that people care about it. I know that a lot of people care about it in this House, but I want to see some commitment. And I want to put the Minister of Children on notice that she needs to put the needs of children above this disgusting rhetoric about being tough on crime, because it doesn't work. It creates more child victims, and this government will be accountable next month when they make that apology to the ways that they continue to repeat history, failed history. Boot camps, failure. 3 strikes law, failure. What other experiments are you going to resurrect and subject our kids to? The minister will be held to account. Close down the youth justice residences and end the failed experiment on boot camps.